you feeling any effects of this there in American Canyon?
Certainly, the effects, absolutely, from an air quality, the air quality concern that we do have. You know, what our advisory is: if you can see it, if you can touch it, if you can taste it, if you can feel the smoke,
Get away.
get inside.
Yeah.
Get inside. Shut those doors. There really is no reason to be outside. Limit your outdoor activity. If you have any signs of fatigue, of shortness of breath, of wheezing, of coughing, make sure you seek medical attention. But stay indoors for today.
The Hagen Road area, we had a report that they do have some helicopters up in the air now. So they're probably dumping some retardant.
Are you reading a book? What are you reading? So we woke up this morning to see like our yard had a bunch of ashes in it, which is like, you know, little bits of ash falling from the sky. A lot of our friends and some family have been affected by these wildfires that they are calling apocalyptic proportions, which I actually sort of felt that way when I saw all the different fires that are burning right now. Some of them are 25,000 acres apiece, you know, there's a bunch of them. It's not just in Napa, it's also Sonoma County as well, and surrounding counties.
Wine country. Good afternoon, I'm Dan Ashley.
And I'm Kristen Z. We continue our coverage of the devastating fires up there in the North Bay. If you're just joining us, we've been covering this, of course, with Reggie Aki, with Jessica Castro, our news team. 8 counties right now are seeing wildfires statewide. 70,000, over 70,000 acres burned, and that number is growing quickly.
And about 115,000 people without power. Those are just some of the key figures that we have for you at this moment. But this conflagration, and that's what it is in wine country and in 8 counties, has just raged on for hours, and it continues.
Santa Rosa, of course, has seen so much of the devastation. As we show you some of the flames and also the map showing you the multiple fires in that surrounding area.
So we did drive up there this morning to check on family, and the air was just so thick with smoke, and I coughed like the entire time. You can see debris floating around, but they were okay up there where his family lives, thank God. But there's still a lot of people being affected by this, and it's just horrible. Last night the winds were so bad, it was just the perfect condition for this fire to spread and spread really quickly. We kind of heard there was a little bit of a fire last night, but we didn't think of anything of it. And then this morning woke up to, you know, just massive firestorm all around in surrounding counties, and also just, you know, the debris floating around in our own backyard. You know, it's just really close to home. Even in San Francisco, my cousin said she could smell smoke, and it was just so much fire, so much loss. People that have been living in the same house for 4 generations, just everything gone. I mean, it's just horrible. So I'm hoping that there's only 2 deaths. There's 2 so far. Of course, they think there might be more because the fire spread so quickly. They haven't been able to tell who was actually in these houses, but they're setting up evacuation centers and all that stuff now. This kind of reminds me of the earthquake we had not too long ago. But fire this time of the year apparently is not unheard of. It's still just really devastating, and I pray for those people and their families that nobody else has been hurt. I mean, things can pretty much be replaced for the most part. Can't replace people, but it's just horrible. Really sad. So the Napa fires have gotten worse, and it's day 3, and we have some family members that had to leave their house. They were evacuated and they're now staying at our house for the night, and for however long they need to, but it's just so sad. They had to leave their house without much. My husband's mother and sister didn't even get a chance to get their stuff from their house. They had to just come straight here from going grocery shopping. They weren't allowed to go back home, so it's devastating. And the house has been in the family for 40 years, and we don't know what's going on and what's gonna happen. And yeah, these fires are just moving so quickly, and zero containment, so they're not anywhere near to putting them out. So many people have lost so much, and just praying that their house is spared somehow, and that they get this thing cleared out, they get this thing wrapped up, they get this thing put out. Smoke everywhere still. They just evacuated Calistoga, the entire city, and they're all coming to American Canyon, which is pretty much here where we are. So I'm getting together some more donations. We dropped off some blankets and water and pillows, bought some new pillows, so gonna get some more stuff together for the next shelter that's opening right now.
Turn lane on the highway there, with cars going whatever speed they're going.
No, but I'm saying it could be manned on an emergency to do that.
If we needed to, but
Yeah, but I'm saying the way you have the road now, there's no ability to do
the good news is the fire department is welcoming the wind from the west, because then it's coming off the ocean. It'll be cooler and moisture is what they're telling us, and they're saying that's a good thing for the fires.
Just played a show and it was pretty cool. The air in there is amazing. They have all these filters going. Going to do a show across town, and on my way there.
I'll be damned if I'll be dressed on a bicycle, Bill. But you'll look good upon the seat of a bicycle book.
Oh, honey, don't be late to be there when the band starts playing. Oh, bum, 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 bum.
So the difference of air quality between the first assisted living place and the second one is like night and day. I had to share with them that they need to get some filtration in there, and then I gave a call to the first one and asked where they got theirs, and then hopefully pointed them in the right direction to get some here, because they really need it. Problem is, on this side of town especially, there's a huge fire right next to the hills. Well, right next to here. They actually, everyone's not on a mandatory, but they're on a suggested evacuation. And be ready for it, essentially. But the air here is just, you can just tell it's just, there's ashes floating around. It's really thick. Doors kept opening and closing. I felt dizzy. I was here for an hour. My throat started hurting. I noticed people were coughing a little bit more. So they said they've been looking for these filters for a while and everyone's sold out, but I suggested they go even bigger, broader search out of town. Of course, in Napa, everyone's gonna be sold out of stuff. They can't even find masks, air masks. These masks, face masks, are hard to find here. So anyway, hopefully they get that in place. I did feel like everyone was suffering a little bit from the air quality in there. I could tell. I know I was. There was a little bit more coughing and people were complaining about being hot. But you can't turn the AC on because the air from the outside comes in. So it's like a catch-22. Anyway, I'm thinking about leaving town for a few days myself. I'm kind of getting tired of all this bad air quality. The fire out. Yes, put the fire out, baby. Yeah, good job. Put it out. Yay, put the fire out, baby. More water. Good, fire extinguisher. Good idea. Oh yeah, the dog can help. Good job, honey. Put all these fires out, baby. So at the retirement homes I played at, the lady heard a song I was doing called Blue Moon, and she said it took her back to when she was young and she was in a singing contest and she won using that song. So she got to go to different counties and go on the radio and sing all these concerts, and it was like so much fun, and she said she forgot about that time in her life. In fact, her family doesn't even know about it, and I just reminded her of it by singing that song Blue Moon, so I thought that was really, really cool. And then the second home I played at, they were celebrating a woman turned 101, and they were a guy and two girls and ladies, including her, were all singing songs together while I was setting up, and he was singing, "You're my 101-year-old baby," to her, and the other lady said, "She looks great for 101, and then the guy said, "How's your sex drive at 101? And the lady didn't say anything, but he said, "Because I tried to get my engine going, but it wouldn't turn over. I tried to start it, but it wouldn't turn over. So I guess it's broken." They are so hilarious. Anyway, it was a positive vibe there, and I was happy for it. Of course, nobody really knows what's going on, and you know, that helps too. Day 7, I think we're on, and we're still waiting to hear what's going on with my family's house up in Napa. They have a house in the hills, so the fire is right in their yard, pretty much, so we are keeping our fingers crossed, hoping that their house survives. Last night, they lifted a lot of the evacuation orders, so I think they're devoting a lot of resources to putting out this fire, which is called the Tubbs Fire / Partrick Road Fire. They kind of combine them together, so we are praying, hoping, and keeping the faith that their house will be spared.